Alright friends, let's start off with the introduction to Apex bootcamp. In this we will learn how to use the programming workbench of Salesforce, which is the Apex part of it. So where does Apex apply in Salesforce application? Apex is used to perform basically DML operations on S objects. Apex is also used to store process data from S objects. You can write triggers in Salesforce similar to database triggers using Apex. You can use Apex code to write in class methods. Basically you will write all your code inside classes and methods, just like in Java or in .NET. Apex is used to create controllers behind all your UI. If you create Visualforce page and want a controller, custom controller, you'll have to use Apex. If you use Lightning components and you want to use controllers, you'll have to use Apex. Apex can also be used to call third-party integration callouts, HTTP callouts. Apex itself can be encapsulated as a REST and SOAP web service. Basically you can have a Apex program which can be exposed by third parties and they can be invoked by the third parties. You can also write Apex batch jobs, which will be covered in the Apex batch tutorial. Apex codes can be executed synchronously or asynchronously also. When do you use Apex compared to process builder and other things is when you want to do a complex validation or you want to write a complex business process which is not normally supported by workflow. Suppose you want to do multiple queries on multiple objects and do some complex business process, then you can use the Apex coding part of it. But basically Apex is used along with the SOQL. It is not used, you don't basically write any DLLs and all of this. You'll do DML operations in this basically. Now when we come, let's compare it with Java. Let's do comparison with Java. Apex is very similar to Java. It is strongly typed and it is also case insensitive language. Okay, so it's strongly typed. That means you need to declare the variables. Then basically Apex allows you to create classes, interface, properties, collections, all of this you can create. Apex has typical conditional and control flow statements. It can be written in Eclipse, but right now we'll be using Visual Studio Code, which is the latest one approved by Salesforce, and it's a Microsoft tool but can be used in Salesforce. What are the differences with Apex and Java is Apex code is compiled and executed on the cloud virtual machine. There is no JVM, JRE required. But the code, once you save it, it gets saved onto the Salesforce org. You can go and edit the code, but you cannot see where it is stored. Okay, it is stored in your org somewhere, but you cannot see where it is stored, but you can go and edit then change the code. There is no explicit garbage collection operations in Salesforce Apex like in Java. You cannot do that. Apex is aware of the underlying schema, data model, objects, so you don't need to create any Hibernate or JDBC over here. It will know that there is an underlying S object, account, contact, or any custom object. It also supports all DMLs and supports transaction and rollbacks. It does not support multiple inheritance. And another thing is Salesforce has got its own, Apex has got its own inbuilt test framework, unit testing framework. You need to achieve a code coverage. Okay, it has an inbuilt unit testing framework like your JUnit, and you need 75% code coverage before you deploy any Apex code to production. We'll see all of that in detail. The various code editors that you can do to develop Apex code is force.com app, developer console, or Visual Studio. So let us see all three of this. Like you can go here and write Apex classes here in the force.com. You can create a new Apex class here, or similarly you can also write it in the developer console, which is over here, or you can use a third-party tool like Visual Studio Code. So we will see all of this eventually. So coming back here, so you can